What happens if you build a life around heading outside every single day, no matter what? I'm Amy Bouchatz, and you're listening to the Humans Outside Weekly Outdoor Diary, where I share with you my own insights from heading into nature every single day for at least 20 minutes, no matter the weather. What did I learn, hear, see, and experience this week as I take on the Humans Outside 365 Challenge? Come along for my insights and, yes, my more than occasional fails. This is my real life, after all. Are you ready? Let's go. There are a few days each year where I realize exactly how dark the darkness of winter was. And suddenly, I become like a moth to a flame. Most of the time, the darkness doesn't really bother me. I don't exactly notice it. Sure, I think about it in passing a little bit. If I'm taking my kids to something after school, for example, I might think about how dark the road there is at 5 p.m. Or if I'm waiting for the sun to rise, I might notice how long it takes for that to start. And there is a day or two in January where you feel sluggish and decide that you just don't care about things you usually care about, and you suddenly know that the darkness is going to require that you try a little harder than during the days of light. But otherwise, the darkness sort of creeps in on you over time. And at least for me, you only really notice that it was there at all when it starts to go away. And then there are the days where you really comprehend that long, dark winter. The first for me is in February. Suddenly the sun is just so in the sky and you have to wear sunglasses while driving for the first time in ages. It makes you want to crank up the music and roll down the windows. Of course, when you do roll them down and feel that still icy blast, you roll them right back up again, but the feeling was there, and the grin lingers. The next for me is a day sometime in April that I call the Day of Blinding Light. The sun comes up just so in my backyard and blazes into my desk window. For the first time in months, I have to move the curtain to cover the sun glaring into my eyes as I work. I avoid taking that step for a day or two because I'm so glad that the light is back. But it becomes too much, too long, and you have to pull the shade a little bit. You know the light is back. The other days are closer together, and they just happened. First is the first morning, usually in early to mid-May, that you step outside on a weekend morning and realize that the crisp or cold blast that's greeted you for months simply isn't there anymore. The air, instead, is warm and sweet. It smells like things growing. It feels like hope. You find excuses to spend the day outside, and while you're there, you see your friends and neighbors doing the same thing. The outdoor concerts have restarted, and you're there bundled up just a little bit, smiling at all the people who have joined you in this seminal moment of the season. No one says what's happening beyond, "What a nice day," but everyone intuitively knows. Next, there is the first day where you are not awake for a moment that isn't a little bit light outside. That happens later in the season for me than for some people because I get up really early. But when I come up my stairs and see the sky beginning to glow with sunrise, I know the light is coming back. Things are growing. It's time for my favorite season. Not long after that day is what one local Humans Outside follower recently told me their family calls Green Day, the day the leaves on the trees have fully unfurled and everything isn't just hinting at life or mostly green, but it is green and it is here. They predicted their Green Day would be Mother's Day, and I have to mostly agree. I went for a run along a 6-mile out and back trail against the river for the first time since last fall, and green is still creeping in out there, but it's on full display closer to home. The experience of darkness over winter, especially a winter as long as ours was this year, with its sub-zero days starting in what felt like October, makes you appreciate the light more. I think I feel that an extra amount because I spend so much time outside in all seasons. The weather and I have become friends, and I know how to anticipate its rhythms and movements, and its tolls and its gifts. No matter where you are, the gift of spring and early summer is that of light and life. And if you miss it by not stopping a little to appreciate it, you're missing an opportunity to really understand your place in it. That, at least, is how it is for me. It doesn't have to be complicated either. This week looked like taking indoor tasks outside. Dinner, Saturday morning work catch-up on a table pulled into the shade by the fire pit, runs outside instead of on the treadmill, pulling the gym equipment in the yard, opening up the windows. I'll be out here like a moth to a flame, basking in the warm light of spring and the return of green. And you can see all of my pictures from these outdoor moments on Humans Outside on Facebook and Instagram. What are you up to? Tag your photos with hashtag HumansOutside365. Until next time, we'll see you out there.